From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSP TV and the Standard Speaker.
It was a terrifying situation as a pilot is forced to make an emergency landing after his plane runs out of gas in the air. And he walks away with not even a scratch on him. The happy ending to a horrific experience is where we begin right now. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I'm Kristen Bazinski. One pilot is lucky to be alive after crashing his plane into a field Monday afternoon and walking away uninjured. News 13 was on the scene shortly after the single-engine aircraft crashed head-on into an open field after running out of gas. The unexpected landing zone was near Sleepy Hollow Road in Butler Township. The plane was driven by Thomas Hall, who lives in Eagle Rock. Now, Hall has owned the plane since 1993 and is an experienced pilot, but still could have been hurt or hurt someone on the ground by performing this emergency landing. But again, it was his only choice. We talked with Valley Regional Fire Chief Rich Bogner at the scene.
Well, considering he only tore off the front landing gear or nose gear and dinged up the front of it a little bit, I think he got pretty lucky. The pilot of the aircraft was out of the vehicle, or out of the aircraft, walking around. They didn't appear to be injured. He was checked by medical staff.
Now, Hall was traveling alone back to Hazleton from Burlington, Vermont. And as you can see, damage to the plane was limited to the propeller and the nose of the plane. And as for the pilot, he's definitely, of course, lucky to have his life tonight. The FAA arrived in Butler Township a few hours after the incident and quickly released the plane and released the scene after a quick investigation. This plane incident is one of two in recent history locally. A man was killed when his plane crash landed at the Hazleton Airport. The other involved in a helicopter at the Mountain Valley Golf Course a few years ago. And moving on tonight, just a short time before the emergency landing, a two-car crash Monday afternoon sent 3 people to the hospital and closed a busy roadway in the city of Hazleton. This is what the scene looked like after 4 o'clock. Police telling News 13 that the Nissan driven by Daniel Jorgensen of Cunningham was traveling west on 20th Street when he collided with the Dodge Ram pickup truck driven by Robert Kuiper of Weatherly. That truck was traveling north on Laurel Street. According to city police, Jorgensen, Kuiper, and an adult female passenger in the Dodge pickup needed to go to the hospital. Both the truck and the car had to be towed away from the area. No word tonight on the severity of the injuries to the 3 involved. 2 teen boys were taken to the hospital Monday afternoon after crashing a 4-wheeler in Freeland. The accident happened near Burton and Lewis Streets. Witnesses at the scene tell News 13 the ATV was speeding down the street, while police said the quad was traveling in the wrong direction when it hit the front tire of a black pickup truck. The collision made the ATV roll over, ejecting the boys onto the roadway. The driver was 17. He will be cited by police. His passenger was 14 years old. Both were told ended up with minor injuries. And again, gunfire in the city of Hazleton as shots rang out Monday night. Police tell us a city home was damaged after those shots were fired Monday in Hazleton. Police tell us bullets were flying in the area of East Green Street between Pine and Wyoming Streets just before 8 Monday night. Anyone with information, of course, is asked to dial 911. 2 Freeland residents who provided the ingredients used to make methamphetamine made their way to district court this morning for their formal arraignment. This is Tad Hastings and Carrie Kistelins walking out of Judge Jared Feisner's office. The couples being charged with providing Jeffrey Deo, who was their roommate, with Sudafed lithium batteries and Coleman lamp fluid to help him make the meth. Deo's responsible for the Christmas night blaze that chased 6 people from their Alvin Street home after the meth lab mishap. The couple is free on bail for now, but will be back in court June 20th for their preliminary hearing. Now to Schuylkill County, where a firefighter was hurt battling a blaze in his own home. The flames broke out at 8 South Balliet Street right around 3:15 this morning. The firefighter George Peters, a member of the Altamont Fire Company, suffered minor injuries trying to put out the flames. Firefighters out of Frackville, Altamont, Englewood, and Mahanoy City were called to the home where they found fire on the second floor porch to the rear of that residence. Peters was treated at the scene by paramedics. He did not go to the hospital. According to reports, Peters recently renovated that home. No word tonight on what caused the fire this morning here in Schuylkill County. And coming up next on News 13, we take a look at the forecast. Will the rain be sticking around or not? Your answer is coming up. Also, get ready to roll up your sleeves for a blood drive. We'll tell you where and when and why you should show up in just a bit. But first, Freddie B's in with sports. A retired football coach is heading back to the field. More on the return of Berwick Bulldogs George Curry coming up. And I sure hope you played the lottery today and have some of the numbers that are up on your screen. They are your winning midday numbers on this Tuesday. Daily number 467, Big 4, 5872, Quinto 07793, Treasure Hunt 3, 5, 16, 21, and 20. Good luck. 30. Sorry, good luck.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Greater Hazelton Health Alliance will present a free education program, ADHD, ADHD Plus, or Is My Child Just Active, on Thursday, June 21st from 6 to 7:30 at the Desson Women and Children's Center. Attendees will learn the symptoms and treatment options for ADHD. For more information, please call 570-501-6204. And finally tonight, the highly competitive wrestling will be presenting Brawl on Broad Street Saturday, June 16th at 7:30. The event will be held at the J.J. Ferrara Performing Arts Center. Tickets are just $10 in advance, $12 at the door, and kids 12 and under, only $5. For tickets or more information, check out www.hcwpro.com. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Michael N. Jetko of Weatherly. Graveside Memorial Service will be held Thursday at 11 a.m. at the St. Nicholas Roman Catholic Church. Arrangements are by the Philip J. Jeffries Funeral Home. Shirley Sanders of Foster Township. Services will be announced by the Lehman Family Funeral Home. William D. Reasonweaver of Weston. Funeral will be held Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Harmon Funeral Home. Friends may call Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Lawrence J. Maurer of Ringtown. Services will be held Friday at 8:30 p.m. at the Stauffer Bresnick Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. And Robert G. McCarr of Drums. All services will be held privately and at the convenience of the family. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazelton. Free delivery to all local funeral homes. Call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Don't settle for second best when dining out. Discover Mia's all-new low-price menu. And remember, there's always plenty of free gated parking behind the Markle Building.
Take a look at who's winning with the Pennsylvania Lottery. $960 million were generated for programs just last year. Because every time you play, an older Pennsylvanian wins. Millions won, millions win. The Pennsylvania Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Love it or return it. With Nationwide's 48-hour, 200-mile satisfaction guarantee, if you're unsatisfied, we'll take it back, no questions asked. Nationwide Car Sales, 40 cars under $15,000. Interest rates as low as 1.9%. We guarantee you'll love it or just return it. Full vehicle information available using QR technology. Nationwide Car Sales, America's new car alternative. Online at nationwidecarsales.net.
Independence Day is less than a month away, and in honor of the patriotic holiday, we want to show off our viewers' love for America. We need you to send us pictures of your children, pets, yourself, or maybe your home decor that shows your patriotism, or even maybe your own American hero, a soldier in your family, serving currently, or a veteran. All of the pictures will be featured on July 4th right here on News 13 between 4 and 5 o'clock. With your snapshot, please include a brief description to be used along with it on air. You can email pictures to me here at the station. The address is kristen@ssptv.com, or drop them in the mail to 109 West Broad Street in Hazleton with a self-addressed stamped envelope if you'd like your picture returned. Or you can just bring them to us in person anytime between 9 and 5. Help us say happy birthday to America and show off the great patriotism here in our area. Moving on tonight to the weather, the sun was nowhere to be found today, and tonight is not looking any better with a chance of thunderstorms, but the sun could make a return for tomorrow. Before we take a look at the weather, let's take a look at tonight's creative condition. Tonight's comes from Molly Magooshak, a student at the Holy Family Academy. She shows us a rainy day. Thanks, Molly, for this picture. It sure fits how it was on this Tuesday in Greater Hazleton as the showers continue tonight with a low down to 54 degrees. On your Wednesday, we'll see mostly sunny skies and a high up to 71. So it looks like get through tonight, rain clouds move out. We should see a pretty nice Wednesday ahead. Just windows and much, much more. First Street in Freeland bringing you the forecast, 636-1133. JustWindowsAndMore.com is where you'll find them on the web, or just simply stop by and check out the pros in windows and doors since 1985. The American Red Cross is sponsoring a blood drive in memory of a McAdoo woman who passed away in March. Agnes Zoranen was extremely active with the Red Cross and helped out at many blood drives throughout her years. We spoke with her daughter-in-law, Janet Zoranen. She stopped by the News 13 studio and couldn't help but smile when asked about her mother-in-law and tomorrow's blood drive being held in her name. Janet told us how Agnes got so involved with the American Red Cross.
She got involved, her daughter Helen had told me, when there was a flood or something from the Johnstown flood and they needed people to give blood, and that's when she started doing this. And every time there was a blood drive in McAdoo, she made sure she was available and she sat there and did it.
Agnes loved to socialize and talk to all the people donating blood. Her commitment to the Red Cross also carried on with her children, who have given several gallons of blood throughout the years. Again, the blood drive is happening tomorrow, June 13th from 2 to 6 at the Keystone Volunteer Fire Company in McAdoo. More news and information is headed your way next. Make sure you stay with us. Well, some recent bear sightings in the Greater Hazleton area may have residents feeling a little uneasy. So why are they leaving their home in the woods to visit the yards of people's homes? We'll explore that answer right now.
From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Hey again, everyone. Thanks for staying with us tonight. I'm Kristen Bizinski. Unless you live in the middle of the woods, you probably don't expect to see a bear anywhere in sight, which is why some recent black bear sightings in the Greater Hazleton area are catching people by surprise. Check out this little furry cub who came out from the woods recently near Trescow, we're told. This cute little cub and a sibling put on quite the show, rolling on their backs and wearing a plastic container as a hat right there. And this isn't the first bear sighting the Greater Hazleton area has seen recently. On May 31st, a much larger bear came straight into the city of Hazleton looking for food. And that's exactly what these animals are doing, looking for a quick and easy snack, which is exactly why you should bring your bird feeder inside, secure your trash, and even clean your barbecue grill regularly after use. Another reason these unexpected guests are coming into neighborhoods is because it's mating season. Mother bears are pushing out their cubs from last year to prevent interbreeding. If you do see a bear, do not chase it. Make a loud noise or even bang pots and pans. That should scare it off. If that doesn't work and it comes near you, do not try to run or climb. A bear's running and climbing skills are most likely a lot better than yours. In that scenario, you should wave your hands in the air and make yourself seem bigger than that bear. And don't forget to always call the Game Commission if you spot one. Another pesky visitor this time of year is quite the nuisance. We're talking about mosquitoes, of course. And the high population reported in one part of Schuylkill County has prompted the state to take action again. The Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection's West Nile virus program will apply treatments of biomist this Thursday, June 14th, to residential and recreational areas of Calairs. The state did this last week as well. There's no need for alarm. The treatments of biomist provide a quick, effective control of the adult mosquito population and are low in toxicity. It's safe to mammals and safe for the environment, unlike the West Nile virus, which is very dangerous to humans. In the event of rain, the spraying will be tentatively rescheduled for next Monday. That's June 18th. Blue dots and ribbons around 7 trees in Cunningham have borough residents growing in anger. The markings mean the trees will be taken down. But while some, including the homeowners near the trees and some council members, are happy the dying trees will be taken care of by PPL and at no cost to the borough, others are hoping the trees can either be saved or replaced. The maples on Main Street and one tree on School Lane are dead, according to Cunningham Councilwoman Jill Hawk, who told News 13 that some of the trees cause power lines to spark and electric service to flash on and off at times. She says it's easy to see the trees are starting to rot and are now homes to pesky bugs. Members of the community, including Barbara Sebring of Cunningham Shade Tree Commission, showed up Monday night to voice their concerns over the removal plan, which for now is on hold. The borough's shade tree ordinance says a permit is required to remove or plant trees in the tree lawn, the area between the street and the sidewalk. Councilwoman Hawk, who is also a member of the Shade Tree Commission, thought having PPL remove the trees would be a savings to the borough and would take care of the limbs that break off during windstorms and the bugs that could become a problem for nearby homeowners.
PPL was coming down to look at one tree, and they said, that they would look at the other trees because I thought they looked pretty dead. They had large dead areas in the center, and there's very few leaves on them. So we took a walk and we observed all the trees up and down, and the ones he looked at, he says yes, they were, they're going to go down pretty soon, either with help or without. And so I says, well, because they told me we could take them down for nothing and it wouldn't hurt the homeowners, and it wouldn't hurt, it wouldn't be charged to the borough. And okay, then I came to the meeting, which this just happened between that meeting and and this is the first meeting we've had, so I didn't say anything, but everything has been said in between with everybody else, which I didn't know this was all taking place. But they are trees that are infested with carpenter ants, which is a detriment to the homeowners.
My duty as a member of the Shade Tree Commission is to try to preserve and protect the trees in Cunningham. They are the character and the charm of the town, and without them, really, we wouldn't have a very attractive town. The removal is on hold, and hopefully the entire council will be familiar with the shade tree ordinance that was passed back in 1993. There seems to be a few council members that weren't familiar with it, so hopefully when they read it they'll realize that there is a procedure in place that has to be followed, and that it's the Shade Tree Commission and the council that authorize any removal, planting, transplanting of the trees in Cunningham.
Right now, the borough has no money set aside to take the trees down and then replace them, but different options can be looked at on how to possibly save the maples or take the steps to put up new trees. When and if the trees are removed, Hawk told News 13 that the wood could be offered to Cunningham families to use in fireplaces and in wood stoves. Again, the removal of the trees in Cunningham has been put on hold. Council will meet again on June 19th. Another important topic of conversation Monday night dealt with putting a sidewalk in near the new sheet store. We'll have more on that Wednesday on News 13. And in Hazel Township, it's all about getting ready for the summer months and starting a number of projects, such as paving in certain parts of the township. Supervisors are going to continue with the road project near Community Park, and they took action regarding Marcellus Shale. We talked to Supervisor Chair Bill Gallagher.
We had to approve the awards for the repaving of Pecora Boulevard and for Community Park Boulevard, which we had opened the bids last month. The low bidders were Popple for Pecora and Franzosa for Community Park Boulevard. So hopefully within the next few weeks we should get those paved and overlaid. We also have awarded the bids for grass cutting for our properties that are either in the repository and or have the banks to control. That would be part of our code enforcement action. So we had 6 bidders and we awarded it to the lowest bidder. That'll be run out of our code enforcement department. A couple other minor things. We approved the Act 13 with regards to allowing the municipalities to have a say in the Marcellus Shale, as opposed to what the state was trying to do where we would have no say should it come in our area, which I don't think we're going to see, but to prepare for that ahead of time.
Gallagher also said the township received its block grant money from the county, which equals to about $75,000, and it will be used to do some road work near the former Bishop Hafey building with paving on 19th and 20th Streets. Firefighters from Hazleton and surrounding communities came together today to say goodbye to their longtime friend and comrade, Robert Nilles. Firefighters carried out Nilles' casket from the funeral home and placed him on the hose bed of the company's 1960s fire engine. Nilles served as fire chief of the Diamond Fire Company in Hazleton for 16 years before retiring in 2006. He was currently serving as the company's financial secretary and was named Chief Emeritus. Nilles was a member of the company for over 58 years. He was also a veteran of the Army and a councilman for the city of Hazleton for 2 terms. Funeral services were held at St. Cyril and Methodius at the Church of St. Joseph, and the longtime city servant was buried at the Calvary Cemetery in Drums. News 13 would like to send our sincere condolences to Mr. Nilles' family and friends. And welcome back, everyone. One pilot is lucky to be alive after crashing his plane into a field Monday afternoon and walking away uninjured. News 13 was on scene shortly after this single-engine aircraft crashed head-on into an open field after running out of gas. The unexpected landing zone was near Sleepy Hollow Road in Butler Township. The plane was being piloted by Thomas Hall, who lives in Eagle Rock. Hall owned the plane since 1993 and is an experienced pilot, but still could have hurt himself or someone on the ground by performing this emergency landing. But again, it was his only choice. Dr. Valley Regional Fire Chief Rich Bogner at the scene.
Well, considering he only tore off the front landing gear or nose gear and dinged up the front of it a little bit, I think he got pretty lucky. The pilot of the aircraft was out of the vehicle, or out of the aircraft, walking around. They didn't appear to be injured. He was checked by medical staff.
Hall was traveling alone to Hazleton from Burlington, Vermont, and as you can see, damage to the aircraft was limited to the propeller and the nose of the plane. And as for the pilot, he's definitely lucky to have his life. The FAA arrived in Butler a few hours after the wreck and quickly released the plane and the scene after a quick investigation. This plane incident is one of 2 in recent history right here in our area. A man was killed when his plane crash landed at the Hazleton Airport a few years ago. The other involved a helicopter at the Mountain Valley Golf Course a few years back. Moving on tonight, just a short time before the emergency landing, a 2-car crash Monday afternoon sent 3 people to the hospital and closed a busy roadway in the city of Hazleton. This is what the scene looked like just after 4. Police tell News 13 that the Nissan, driven by Daniel Jorgensen of Cunningham, was traveling west on 20th Street when he collided with the Dodge Ram pickup driven by Robert Kuiper of Weatherly. He was driving north on Laurel Street. According to city police, Jorgensen, Kuiper, and an adult female passenger in the Dodge pickup needed to go to the hospital. Both the truck and the car were towed away from the scene. No word tonight on the severity of the injuries to any of the 3. 2 teen boys were taken to the hospital Monday afternoon after crashing a 4-wheeler in Freeland. The accident happened near Burton and Lewis Streets. Witnesses at the scene tell News 13 that ATV was speeding down the street, while police tell us the quad was also traveling in the wrong direction when it hit the front tire of the black pickup truck. The collision made the ATV roll over, ejecting the 2 boys onto the road. The driver was 17 and will be cited by police. His passenger was just 14 years old. Both, we're told, ended up with minor injuries. And again, we need to tell you about gunfire in the city of Hazleton as shots rang out Monday night. Police tell us a home was even damaged. Monday evening, and the bullets were flying in the area of East Green Street between Pine and Wyoming Streets just before 8 Monday night. Anyone with information is asked to dial 911. And coming up on News 13, one local business is taking the corporate route, and the change is happening sooner than you may think. We'll have more on that in just a bit, but first, Freddie B's in with sports and the scoop on a big-name coach who's out of retirement and returning to the school where it all started. You won't want to miss it. Stay with us.
SSP TV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Right here yesterday, local News 13, first to tell you that Gary Campbell had resigned his position as the head coach of the Berwick Bulldog football team. We said speculation, who was going to be the coach? We even mentioned some bloggers were saying George Curry. Well, they knew what was going on. They must have had inside information because late last night, it was officially announced Berwick School Board unanimously appoints George Curry to re-coach the Berwick Bulldogs. And we say that because he's the legendary coach at Berwick, 6 state championships, winningest coach in the history of football in the state of Pennsylvania. You know, how many more state titles would he won? Remember, state didn't start counting them until 1988. You know, Curry had a lot of good teams, but he's back, and it should be interesting. George Curry, the new coach of the Berwick Bulldogs, following what we told you yesterday that Gary Campbell is out. So even though we're here in June, not really a football month, that's breaking football news as good as it gets. Stay tuned. Now, let's go into more seasonal sports. We're wrapping up the state playoffs in baseball and softball. It is not going to include a lot of Western teams. Let's take a look and show you what I mean. In Quad A boys, it'll be a District 1 versus Philadelphia. LaSalle, Council Rock South. LaSalle just got by Hatboro Horsham, denying all District 1 final. Same deal, no Western team to be found in AAA. Lampeter Strasburg will play West York. Pine Grove Riverside, there's a Western Pennsylvania sighting. And in Single A, Montgomery and Bishop McCourt. Montgomery is out of Lycoming County. Bishop McCourt is out of Center County. Meanwhile, Quad A softball, again, it'll be an all-Eastern affair because Bishop Shanahan's out of District 1, so CB South. So District 1 still carrying their share of the weight. Valley View, though, is out of District 2, so Northeastern Pennsylvania will be represented. They beat Manheim. They'll take on Big Spring. Big Spring is out of District 3, so again, Quad A, softball, baseball, AAA, softball, baseball, no Western teams in the final. Meanwhile, Warrior Run bombed Nanticoke yesterday, so the Trojanettes out. It only took them 5 innings. Warrior Run, of course, is out of District 4, and they're going to take on Neshannock, who's out of District 7. And finally, in Single A, Southern Columbia kept it going. They beat Greenwood. They'll take on Fannett Metal, and that's a charter school out of District 5. Now, a little bit more toward the norm. Let's take a look. Russ Kanzler, a couple of hits last night, but his Columbus team got doubled up by Charlotte. Meanwhile, Scranton Wilkes-Barre 3-1 winners over Louisville, and the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, they got by the Syracuse Chiefs. Today, we've got Akron at New Britain, and Scranton Wilkes-Barre was playing an afternoon game. You can see right there, they were winners. So too was Charlotte over Columbus. And Lehigh Valley was supposed to play an afternoon game, but that one was rained out. Meanwhile, Joe Madden and the Rays, they'll play the Mets, Yankees, and Braves. Game 2 of that series. And the Phils, well, they're in last place. They need a couple of wins. Hey, how hungry are you tonight? The most popular wing night in town is up at Bottlenecks. That's right, they've got the area's best wings, and every Tuesday, they're just $9.95 for all you can eat. All of the delicious flavors. You can have as many as you like. You can't go wrong, and they are delicious. Up at Bottlenecks every Tuesday. They sponsor us not only on Tuesdays, but it's a great place.
A long-standing pharmacy in Freeland is not closing, but instead going corporate later this month. News 13 stopping by Noki's Pharmacy in Freeland. That is soon to be a CVS drugstore come June 25th. The good news is that all the employees currently employed at Noki's will be able to keep their jobs, and the same goes for the owner. Noki's will close at 6 p.m. on Friday, June 22nd, and will be closed Saturday and Sunday, June 23rd and 24th, and will reopen Monday morning, June 25th, as CVS. Many are sad to see the locally owned business leave the Freeland community. Moving on tonight to the weather, the sun is nowhere to be found in our area today, and tonight is not looking any better with a chance of thunderstorms, but the sun could make a return for tomorrow. Before we take a look at the weather, let's take a look at tonight's creative condition. Tonight's comes to us from Molly Magushak, who goes to school at Holy Family Academy. She shows us a rainy day, which is exactly what we had today. So thanks, Molly, for sending us your creative condition. Showers and thunderstorms, as we said, likely tonight. The temp dips down to 54 degrees. Here's your 4-day outlook. It's not looking too bad, I'd say. I mean, mild in the 70s right across the board, in the 50s for your evening. No sign of any rain through Saturday, and the sun looks like it'll be making an appearance each one of those days ahead. Lazy Dog Salon, Dog and Cat Grooming, North Broad Street, West Hazleton. Bringing you the forecast tonight. 459-0310 is the number to call to make an appointment for your furry friend. Valley High Drive-In, Route 93, West Hazleton, ice cream, hot dogs, milkshakes, and so much more. Make sure you stop by for a delicious treat. All right, finally, if you're 60 years of age or older and enjoy the taste of fresh fruits and veggies, listen up. The Area Agency on Aging for Luzerne County will be distributing farmer market vouchers at the Freeland Senior Citizens Center Wednesday, June 13th. That's tomorrow from 10 to 2. Eligible residents must be at least 60 years old with proof of age and residency is required. Each qualifying person is allowed 4 $5 vouchers per year. That'll do it for us tonight. Thank you for making us a part of your day. You can catch this newscast again with a rebroadcast throughout tonight, or simply go to News 13's website, ssptv.com. That's where you're going to find everything Greater Hazleton and beyond. It's all just a click away. On behalf of all of us here at News 13, we will see you back here on Wednesday. Good night.